Hello, hello. Looks like we're live. Oh my gosh, it's a little, wow, very bright in here. Not in my normal space. Hello, hello, everybody. Uh, yes, I have someone who's watching, so I'll introduce you in just a minute, but let me say hello first. And let's see who all is here. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Good to see you, Pat, Sharon, Cheryl, Kim. Oh, there's Sharon again. And Kim. I probably said that twice. I think did I did I send that to the wrong person? I did. I'm sorry. Yep. Oh, okay. I just wanted to let you guys know. And I should just let you guys all know this, that when you send, I wanted to post videos of Meow Meow, and YouTube will not let me upload somebody else's videos. Well, it won't let me upload them to a community post. I would have to upload them as if they were my own and just upload them as a regular video. And it just isn't, it's not going to work as far as I can figure out. Jody, how you doing? So I'm just saying hello to everybody. Sherry, good to see you. For those of you who are catching this as a replay, you can go ahead and scroll ahead a few minutes if you want. We just kind of say hello. Welcome, everybody. But I have an important guest this evening, and we'll see how long this live stream goes. My live streams are normally an hour to an hour and 15, right around that range. But I am babysitting this evening because my beautiful granddaughter, her mommy and daddy, have gone and bought her a house. So they're off taking care of business while I am here with little Miss May. And I have permission to introduce her. So if you guys want to hang on a quick second, I will grab her. Donna, it's good to see you. Cactus Smithy, good to see you too. I only have my little notebook with me again tonight, but that's okay. Remembering everybody's names, I'll try. I will get it down. And then there was me, who I think is what we either have Lauren or Cully. Cully. I have two different names but anyway. Anywho, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is good to see you guys. Tonight we're going to talk about soul pets. I call this channel Soul Pets, and I call it that for a reason. And for those of you who may be watching me for the very first time, my name is Elaine. I'm an animal Reiki master and an animal chaplain. And it is my mission to help people manage, cope with the loss of an animal companion, to work through the grief. And we have really started to create a strong community here, a community of people who support each other. So if you are watching this video for the very first time, feel free to comment, and people will support you wherever you happen to be in your journey with your animal companion. YouTube is a joke. Yeah. Well, but it is what we have to work with. So I learned to work with it, and it has been, for the most part, a very user-friendly experience for me. Here comes May. Hang on a second. Here we go, guys. Hello. You want to come say hello? She loves the computer. This is May, my granddaughter. She's still getting her hair. My son was equally as had that kind of hair also when he was growing up. It took about 18 months. Dog. Yeah, dog. That's her only word. There's a shock that my granddaughter's first word is dog. Do you see the baby? Do you see the baby? And you see grandma? Oh, we're not going to turn. No, she likes anything electronic. I swear it is genetically ingrained in our children now. It is born into their DNA. She loves anything that has to do with electronics. So she has her own little cell phone here that does nothing. So I'm going to put her down. She does look like a little fairy, doesn't she? I never realized that. Mate. No, you can't. She wants the mouse. I have her puffs. I have her cell phone, which does nothing except show pictures of dogs. So I think that will be okay if I set her down. Okay, you ready? Yes, dog. Here you go. And I have her music to play in the background. She loves the songs Baby Shark. And let's get that to play right now. So hopefully that's not going to be too distracting for you guys. Julie, hello. It's good to see you. Yes, Miss May. She is my beauty. She is a miracle baby. One of those babies that has been 10 years in the coming. And I hope you guys, can you hear that music in the background? Somebody let me know. Hi, Karen. Let me know if that music is loud in the background. She likes Baby Shark and this Happy Baby song and 5 Little Ducks and all kinds of good things. So I'll turn it down a little bit just in case. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And I'm not seeing any comments, so I'm guessing that the music is okay in the background. Hi, Pamela. Missing my past pet, Pacino. Okay, we're glad that you're here too. We've all been through in one form or another, or in sometimes more than one case. Yes, I heard that. You crazy little girl. Yeah. Um, Let me give her phone. Hang on a second. Let's turn on the phone and give you the doggy. Okay. And we are here to support you. We are here to support each other. And this community has really become truly supportive. And I will say, so, okay, Julie kind of let the cat out of the bag there, but I was going to say anyway. So when I had to cancel the class on Thursday, it was because my daughter is the one who was having surgery, and it was a day surgery, and it was very extensive. It was an oral surgery, but incredibly, like, imagine wisdom teeth on steroids. It just was a heavy duty surgery, and it didn't go well. So that we had to go back the next morning and have things redone. And it was then now she's doing great. She's definitely on the road to recovery, doing great. So I appreciate all of your thoughts. I appreciate all the kind messages that I got, and we are definitely on the road to recovery. So thank you for bearing with me for last Thursday. And I always find ways to make it up for you guys. So, and even tonight. So if tonight, for some reason, May decides that we have to cut it short, and we'll see how right now she's happily listening to her music and playing with her toys. But if it does have to get cut short, I will find a way to make it up, even if it's another live stream this week. Yep, she's doing well. She's absolutely doing well. So hello, everybody. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so good to see you guys. Okay. So what do we want to talk about tonight? I want to talk about what this channel is called, which is SoulPet. I was inspired to, it took me a while actually to come up with the name for this channel. I thought about different things, and I initially am an animal Reiki master, and it was people at my old workplace that began to call me the animal Reiki lady when I told them I was leaving my role as HR, and from the HR lady to the animal Reiki lady. And that's how that name kind of got started. But my practice with Reiki, and specifically animal Reiki, led me to working with animals that were approaching end of life. And it was mostly about sharing Reiki, and Reiki being a way of helping them release stress, manage pain, achieve a space of peace and calm, both animal companions and their families, to get to a place that was peaceful and calm, to help their transition be peaceful and calm. And then from there, of course, I realized when my Lucy crossed that I still had a connection with her, even on the other side of life. And that's where all this started. And I meditated for a while, and I came up with several different things. And I just thought one day it's going to come to me. And then SoulPet was created. But what is a soul pet? We've talked about our animal companions being our soulmates. And I think, and if anybody wants to put that in the comments, if you feel that your animal companion who's on the other side of life, or even if you've got one right now still physically with us, if you feel they're your soul pet, your soulmate in the form of an animal, I'd love to know, because that was my Winston. And I'm going to kind of share the story a little bit about Winston as we talk about what it means to be a soul pet. But I want to start by sharing what I am really, really focused on for the mission, my mission as an animal chaplain, as an animal Reiki master, not just for this YouTube channel, even though that's where a lot of the work that I do happens now, is on the YouTube channel. I really want to change the way we think about death. Now, think about that word, the word death. Right away, it's hard for me to say. It's probably hard for you to hear the word die, death, dead. Those words are powerfully strong, and they evoke very deep emotions within us, emotions that were put in place since we were children. And I think that if we were trained as children to view the transition of a soul from physical to non-physical, that it would change the way we actually view the crossing of our loved ones, whether they're furry, finned, feathered, or person. And that's what I really hope to do. I hope to help alleviate some level of suffering and grief. Otherwise, we will just be caught in this loop, and it will always be a loop because it happens. It's just a natural part of the cycle of life, whether it's animals or people. And we begin and we go through this physical life, and then we transition to something different, and we could be forever caught in a loop of grief as animal after animal, person after person, as they transition to the other side. And I hope to break that cycle in some way, just in any measure, one pet at a time, one person at a time, helping us alleviate that grief. And it's a little bit, we're going to talk a little bit about reincarnation tonight, although I'm not prepared to go fully down the reincarnation road. But there's a piece of us that we want to hear, does our animal companion reincarnate? And we want to hear that the answer is yes, because we're petrified that there's nothing on the other side. We are fearful. We are in fear that when we die, it's done. That when our animal companions die, they are no more. And so we ask, please reincarnate. Prove to me that there's something else beyond what we have now. And that's one of the reasons why we talk about reincarnation. But I want to help you alleviate that fear, because not only is reincarnation real is real in any way that we want it to be real. We are divine beings that have this ability, and so are our animals, even more divine than us. We have the ability to do so many things. But like I said, I don't think we're going to go all the way down the reincarnation road tonight. We're going to talk about that on another night. Just checking my notes. Oh, suffering. This came up a couple times for me this week. When people comment on different videos, even going back a couple of years, people comment on my videos, and someone commented specifically today that she felt that her animal had suffered, and that it was because of a decision she had made that her animal companion had suffered. And now she was making herself suffer. She was holding herself responsible. She was suffering in grief. She was suffering in guilt. And I want to let you know, more than anything, if I could eliminate that word alone, suffering is a human condition. It seems to be something that we have adopted as a species, that we need to suffer for some reason in order for us to get to, even it goes back to things that we've been taught. If we want to get to heaven, we got to suffer first in order to get to that place. We do not. I think they are trying to teach us that we no longer need to suffer. All right. I'm going to check comments real quick right now. I'm going to scroll back up for a second. I saw comments flying by, and I want to make sure I look at them. SoulPet, signs, okay? Losing him, we're going to talk about that. Why, when our soul pets cross, why do they cross, and sometimes so soon? And it leaves us devastated, crushed and devastated. It's not just a pain of an animal companion crossing. I've had many animal companions in my life, and only a few of them what I consider soulmates. Snooper. Is that my Snooper? Is that the Snooper who I know? Give me a yes if that's Snooper. Definitely your unique soul pup. Julie, Millie was your soul horse. Oh, I love that. And horses have a special place for me too. So Pippa, the Australian Shepherd. Okay. Sorely missed. Got it. How we feel about the D word. See, we can't even type it out. We have to call it the D word. There's something we need to change. Let me check Sophia. SoulPet was your lake dog Loki. Okay, many cats and dogs, but right in and out, that's one of the things we're going to talk about. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes our soul pets come to us in the most unexpected way. Jeannie is a soul pet. When leading into modalities, I've realized that death is but a dream. I'm really just shedding our human form. Yeah, our soul lives forever, and it's almost like we've chosen this particular. Yes, sweetheart. Come here, honey. Here, let's get some puffs for May. She likes these little puffs. Are you hungry, baby girl? Here we go. Oh, there's your puffs. We'll see how long this lasts. We're listening to the Itsy Bitsy Spider right now. If you can't hear it. Cat Sophia, definitely a soulmate. Lived before me for 19 years as Carol. Okay, came back as Sophia. We're going to talk that's a little bit about reincarnation, and that soul pets can come back to us again and again and again, and that we can let go of that fear. Zoe, your Reiki buddy, passed 2 months ago. Oh yeah, if you can feel her, they will continue to let us know many signs, but soul pets have a way of really connecting with us and letting us know about that. So I'm just going to real quick scroll through these. Always say I better go before Snooper. That was Okay, I'm pretty sure that that's my snooper, right? That's who you are. Scooby Now 24. Um, Otherwise, not Snooper's an unusual name. Dreamed that she spoke to me after she passed and thinking of adopting. Yep. Okay. Good. She told me, "Don't wait. There are more like me." We are going to talk about that, Karen. That is one of the absolute topics that we have tonight. Is the fact that we can continue to love on other animals even after our soul pet has crossed. Okay. Going on with notes here. Break free the cycle of grief. Yes. So I wrote, because we want to welcome animals, accepting their journey and knowing that love can come back to us again and again. That's just one of the little notes I made myself to talk about tonight. And your comment made me look for that. That we can welcome other animals into our life. There is no end to the love that animals can bring to us and that we can bring to them. And our soul pets have the ability to come back to us again and again and again. A never-ending cycle of love. That's the other thing I wrote here. They can come back again and again and again, and we don't want to be caught in a never-ending cycle of grief. I got a dog. We're talking about doggies. Yep. We want to be caught in a never-ending cycle of love. Hang tight. Here comes May. Would you like to come say hello again? This is my granddaughter May. For those of you weren't watching the first couple minutes, she's here tonight. There's the baby. She sees herself. There's the baby. Yes. How about you? You want to go watch the ants where you normally sing? Now we're watching the ants go marching, and we normally sing that together. Dog. You want dog? That's her first word. Here you go. There you go, baby girl. Let me get your pictures of doggies. Let's see if we can get. There's the picture of the doggy. There you go. Doggy. Okay. Okay. So one of our fears is that this is one of the things about live streams, and I am going to do this tonight regardless of my beautiful. She wants to be on camera. Gee, I wonder who she takes after. There you go. Okay, so let's talk about soul pets and what they mean to us. So recently I had three doggies living with me at the same time, and they were all seniors. It was Lucy and Jack, who were a bonded pair since they were each puppies. So they were together with me the whole 13 years of their life. But it was Winston who came to me in the most unusual and unexpected way. Winston dropped out of nowhere. If you haven't heard Winston's story before, I've told it many times. We were living in an RV at the top of a mountain in the middle of nowhere. There's no way for Winston to get to me other than to be dropped by angels or aliens. But there he was. He appeared one day, and he was a little King Charles Cavalier, and we instantly fell in love. If you love at first sight, we've heard that before, right? And we all often think about it in romantic terms. Love at first sight was Winston and I, and he was my true soul pet. The veterinarian advised. She's trying to go for things that she's not allowed to have. Here, try this one. There you go. Ooh, look, a zipper. So anyway, it was instantaneous love. Winston and I, when we took him to see if he was microchipped, to see if we put him on every website, we put him on every neighborhood Facebook group. We posted it at the local shelter, and no one came to claim him, which I couldn't have been happier for, because I knew that we were meant to be together. And the veterinarian said he's very sick, very, very sick, and that he would probably only live for a week or two. And he ended up being 2.5 years with me. And we went everywhere together. Every car ride, every trip to the store, every place that I went, Winston went. And I knew I was prepared for the fact that I had a very limited amount of time with him. And all the preparation didn't prepare me even for when he crossed. It didn't prepare me. So they can come to us in the most unexpected, unusual ways. I had where did he come from? I have no idea where Winston came from. I'm just trying to see if I see any other comments there. Newly adopted furball. They each have their own personalities, and that fear will vanish as you bond. Oh, okay. So I will let you guys talk amongst yourselves. There's sometimes there are the animals more than anything else, have a way of finding us. We've talked about this in prior videos, that when we have a true animal companion who's meant to be our partner throughout many lifetimes, not just this lifetime, that they will find us. We don't have to worry. People ask me this question also. Well, how will I know? How will I know? Well, tell me, how did you guys know if it was your soul pet? How did you know that soul pet? You just knew, right? It was like the love at first sight. You know it in your heart. There's this really, there's almost no words to describe the feeling that we get when we meet our soul pet. So what is a soul pet? Let's see. I want to talk a little bit about how uncanny it is. If you haven't perhaps experienced a soul pet, one of the things that you experience is that there is an uncanny knowing from them. They seem to know you at your very core. They know everything, the good, the bad, the indifferent. They know it all. Those things that we keep in the dark closet of our heart that nobody knows but us, they know it, and they love you regardless. Unconditional love. So they have an uncanny way of knowing who we are down to our depths of our soul, and they love us for every last bit of who we are. They help us change. They help us heal. They guide us. They do things that we wouldn't normally experience with other animals in our life as we do with our soul pets. How do we know? So I wrote this down, a crazy feeling of connection. A crazy feeling of connection. Like, did you ever have the connection? I know I felt it with a couple of you in here that I've had the chance to meet in person. If you have ever felt like you met someone for the first time, but that you've known them forever, that's the kind of feeling you get when it's your soul pet. Winston, I just had this crazy feeling that we knew each other forever, that he's always been a part. And when I did a meditation, I wanted to meditate to see if I could connect with him and understand where he came from. And when I closed my eyes and I did my meditation and I get real quiet, I quiet all my thoughts. And that's one of the things that I teach in my classes, is how to actually do that. Because when you can quiet your thoughts, your animals have a place to come in and connect with you. So I quieted my thoughts by thinking there's nothing more important right now than me understanding Winston. And I wanted to understand where he came from. And that's the question that I asked him. And the answer I got was, I don't understand the question. It does not compute. I've always been here and you've always been mine. We've always been together. And that was an eye-opening realization. When you realize that the animal companion who has come to you is your soul pet, there's nothing else. And Winston chose to remember nothing about his life prior to when he arrived with me. And here's the weird thing. Because I was at the top of a mountain by myself in an RV, me, Jack, and Lucy, that was it. And we went out one morning and there was Winston sitting outside the RV in the woods. And there's no way for him to physically have gotten there except to be dropped by angels. Yes, doggy. We're talking about doggies. There was no way except for him to be dropped by angels. You just have this realization that, oh, okay, so this really is a soul pet. Okay. A medium said he was unlikely to reincarnate. Okay, I should address. We're going to have to talk about reincarnation. Maybe that'll be the next week's video. Don't let anybody tell you that your animal companion can't reincarnate unless it's something that you guys agree upon, you and your animal companion. The life you share with your animal companion is yours and your animal companions. I know that Jack told me, my yellow lab Jack told me that in a meditation, told me that he was tired. He was old. He was a very old soul that he'd been around many times, and that he was choosing to return to source, choosing to return to the source of all things. But that I would still always have access to him, even if he was going to choose not to come back in a physical body, that I would still always be able to talk to him and communicate with him. And I have, and I still do. And so it's up between you and your animal companion, whether or not they choose to come back in a physical body. Think about this for yourself. If you were given the choice, everything you've gone through in this lifetime, you cross over to the other side and you are given an option whether or not to come back to Earth in physical form, how many of you would say yes? I would have a lot of conditions that have to be met before I said yes again. And sometimes our animals are that way there for us. And sometimes they can help us more from the non-physical than from the physical. They have access to so much more information and knowledge. May, you're a little stinker. Can I please have that? Hang on, she's got something she's not allowed to have. And she's Sharon. And then, nope, I see your answer to the question. Would you come back? Right? This is hard. This is hard work being here in this physical life. And even for those of us who are becoming more in tune with who we're meant to be and the thing that's supposed to be our purpose, man, there's a lot of crap we got to put up with. And I don't know that I would want to do this again. Besides, I think I want to explore other things, other places. Okay. Sylvester put up with us teenagers. We loved him to the core. He saved us from a bunch of wasps. Oh, not cats when I had him, but he was far wiser. Wow, amazing. Jen, hi Jen, how are you? Heck no. Okay, let's see what else. Are all animals soul pets? I want to really give some clarity to this. I think that all animals, every animal that comes into our life for a reason. There is it from the raccoon that knocks over the trash cans at midnight, to the neighbor's dog that doesn't stop barking, to everything. Every possible animal that comes into your life for a reason. The ones who come to share our homes and who share our lives for more than just a brief moment. Hang on a second. She's got more things she's not supposed to have. My dear. Watch your music here. I'm going to get her more puffs. Hang on. All animals have an intense capacity to love. And every animal that comes into our life, here we go, sweetheart. There's your tray. Go get him. They love us and we love them. And I think how much, even though Lucy was not actually my soul pet, oh my gosh, the depth of love and the connection that we have even after she's crossed. We're even closer now that she's crossed than we were before she crossed. But not all animals are our soul pets. I've had many animals in my lifetime of all kinds. And for most of them, now that I know what I know, I would go back and change the way that I did things. And I mention this all the time too, that our animal companions have made us better caregivers and better partners and better coexistingers. I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but I will, even now with Gypsy, I do everything differently than I ever did with any of my other animal companions before. I'll give you an example of nutrition. All my life, I've been raised that you give dogs kibble, and that's what you give them, kibble. My dog as a child had Alpo. Half a can of Alpo twice a day was what the dog got to eat. And that was it. There was nothing else. And then my own dogs, even my veterinarian had me put them on a very specific kibble diet. All they had was kibble, morning and night. And now Gypsy gets a completely natural diet. Everything I cook for her, my husband, it is pretty funny. He's like, the freaking dog eats better than I do. And that's true. Because I hand make everything for Gypsy, because I'm certain that real food is it's part of what I think our animals are trying to teach us, that we need to change things. We need to change up our nutrition. We need to change up our health. We need to change up everything so that our bodies are wonderful and healthy and happy, and we can live healthy, happy lives. What would you like? You can't have any of those things. You can have a book. Would you like a book? There you go. The book about shoes. When I was little, our dog got the cheapest. Yes. Hi, Caroline. 100% agree, like growing up with pets, right? Yeah, that is the perfect word. The word ignorant probably has more baggage attached to it. Unaware. I was unaware of how to be a better companion to my animals. But now I am, and I change everything. And it doesn't matter whatever animals come into my life from this point forward, however long Gypsy is with me. I know there's something going on with Gypsy because she gets headaches, and I know she gets headaches, and I think it's because she had to have her eyes removed. So I am preparing myself for the day that the veterinarian says to me she's having some health issues. May, come here, sweetheart. Sing with the chickens. The chickens on the farm say cluck, cluck, cluck. There we go. Yay. They do eat better than us. That's funny. Okay, so where was I with that? That I guess that not all animals are soulmates, but the ones that do come into us as our soul pets, we recognize them, we know it, and we just love on all the other animals, because personally, I just love having animals in my life, and I will always have some kind of animal in my life. There won't ever be a time again when I don't. And the last part about this that I want to talk about. Hi, May. You want to say hello again? There you go. She sees herself. She's just looking at herself. Yeah, you can have the mouse. Here. There you go. There you go. That's something else she's also not allowed to have, but that's okay. I'm sorry. I really don't mean to be distracted this evening, but it's just me and May. So we got to go with the flow. And that's what live video is all about. It's about life, and it's about reality. And yeah, there's nothing fake or phony about any of this channel. Okay. The last piece that I want to talk about with this is, if they are our soul pets and we are meant to be together, why do they leave us so soon? Why is their life so short? It is one of the hardest things that we have to deal with, is the crossing of our animal companion who is a soul pet. We are literally, as someone mentioned back, caretaker, provider for the Polynesian word, a Hawaiian word. We feel crushed, devastated, lost. Literally, we used to have those little, what were those things called? That was a little necklace that a mizpah, was that? They broke in half, and your best friend got a half and you got a half. I don't know if that was the name of it or not, but when they leave us, it's like a twin. When they're gone, there is a hole, not just in our heart, there's a hole in our life, as if a piece of our soul has flown off with them when they transitioned. And why is that? So then if they're meant to be our soul pet, why do they leave us so soon? I look for this answer all the time. I try to find answers that are comforting to people. And I know that there are sometimes I cannot ever bring the comfort that you're looking for, but I can at least try. The loss is unbearable. It's heart-wrenching. Their departure is sometimes almost as profound as their presence and the way that they arrived. So if they came to us in an unexpected way, they often leave us in a same unexpected way, unanticipated way. And that sometimes makes it harder. Sticking with Winston, I went to work for 2 hours. And I thought that Winston and I had a deal. I was fully engaged in this work. And I was certain that Winston and I had a deal that he would lay in my lap, allowing me to comfort and hold him and let him gently cross to the other side. And he chose not, that was not his choice. His choice was to go, and I was not there. And there are people who recommend to me that perhaps he was trying to spare me. And I get that, that perhaps he just didn't want to, he wanted to spare me that grief of him crossing in my arms. But that really wasn't my concern. I was prepared for that. I think he left because he saw how smoothly and gently Lucy could cross, because it was within a week of each other. I think he saw how beautifully peaceful Lucy was when she crossed, and he realized that he did not need to live in his little broken body anymore, because his body was pretty broken. He did not need to live anymore in that body, and so he chose to cross. And it was completely unexpected, because, we get to that place, and he had been with me for 2.5 years after the doctor said that it was only going to be 1 or 2 weeks. So in my mind, he was living forever. in my mind, he was absolutely living forever, and there was just no question about it. And in the end, he crossed unexpectedly. But why do they leave us? I think they leave us sooner than we expect. Even if they're with us for their entire natural life, like if a dog is meant to live 13 or 15 years, or cats, which sometimes live to 20. The oldest cat I ever met was 23 years old. So if they naturally come to the end of their life, it's still too soon. We want them to be with us forever, but their mission, their purpose, once it's fulfilled, they transition back to the other side. And if they came here specifically to help us and guide us and show us the way, or like Winston taught me so much purpose. Oh my gosh. When I think about all the things that, well, between the three of them, actually more than that, because then I was fostering dogs at the same time. They gave me so much direction as to where I should be going and how I could be helping, because my goal now is to serve not just animals, but the human companions who share their lives. And that's when his mission was over. That was also the other reason why he left. When their purpose is over, then he's gone. And I can't find any other rhyme or reason, at least not yet. And I am always open to learning new things, and I'm always opening to understand more. And I'm always asking my animal companions to show me more. There's something more to it that I have not been able to put my finger on yet. But the other thing I know is that when they transition, going back to reincarnation, when they transition, there is no question that we are still connected. That is the bonus, if you want to call it a bonus, of having a soul pet as your soulmate, having a pet as your soulmate, is that they don't ever leave us. Their physical body, their presence in the physical may be over, but their presence as a soul in the non-physical has not just begun, but it gets better. Like they became even better souls from their experience here in the physical on earth with us. And they evolved and they ascend, and now they are on the other side. Even though, we know it's not the other side, it's just this space of energy that we can't access with our five senses. They are on the other side, and they have access now to help us in an even more profound way. They understand what it's like to be in a physical body. They understand the challenges their human companion is going through. And now from the other side, they have the ability to access things that can help us. They can send us signs. They can send us messages. They can guide us. If we have to use oracle cards to ask the questions, if we have to go to a medium to ask the questions, that's all fine. But they have ways to get us information that is meant to help us have a better life here in our physical body. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I want to say one more thing, but first, I gave my mouse. I gave the mouse to May. I'm going to wait. Where's my mouse? I can't scroll. I can't scroll. So I'm just going to look at some comments that I can see now. I'm sure to be a foster failure, so maybe in the future. So maybe we're talking about, I'm just gathering real quick from some of the comments that we are thinking about intense relationships. So the loss is huge. We do everything for our animal companions, especially when they're our soulmates. We've talked about this many times before too. We would go bankrupt in order to help our animal companions have a better life. We will do anything possible. But in the end, they have a purpose and they have a journey, and we can honor that journey by not staying stuck in a cycle of grief. If we want to honor who they are, honor their soul, trust them in death as we trusted them in life, trust them on the other side, trust them in the non-physical as much as we trusted them here in their little physical bodies, that we are still connected, that we still have a relationship. They want us to trust. They want us to know. They want us to connect with them. And then for those of you who are considering other animals, this is my recommendation for that. You'll know when the time is right. You can, I use the word meditate, and almost like the D word, it's the M word. People are like, well, meditate, what? I just go someplace quiet. I sit down. A lot of times it's outside. I sit down in nature. I listen to the birds. I listen to the breeze. The sun is on my face. I close my eyes and I tell myself that nothing matters in this moment in time except my connection with, let's use Lucy, except my connection with Lucy. That is the only thing that matters to me right now. Nothing else is important. And that's when I can feel her. When I let go of all that extra crapola that we have going on as humans, the reason why we don't want to reincarnate is because when I let go of all that stuff, it gives her the space to come in. And then I can ask her questions. And one of those questions might be, is it time? Is it time for me to have a new animal companion? And then just trust the information that comes through to you. You guys know that I do automatic writing. When I start to receive information, the way that I have learned to believe it and trust it and not question it is to write it down. I write it down without filter, without filtering of any kind. I write it down so that even if I don't trust it in that moment in time, I can go back and read it and know that Lucy was coming through to me with information that I needed. And they will help you and guide you to when it is time, when the time is right to bring in a new home, a new animal into your home. Maybe it is just fostering. I know what it's like to be a foster fail. And I've told the story, the foster fail was when I had to give my foster animal companion back to his human family after he lived with me for 3 months. That's a whole different kind of loss, but it was a loss nonetheless. We can ask them to guide us to the animal who's meant to come into our home. We can ask, and we can ask anything, because what you're really talking to is the source of all things. And I'm not going to get religious on you. I say this frequently: God, Allah, Buddha, Jehovah, whatever you call the creator, the divine being of your own. Oh, I can't remember that. I heard this word from a gentleman who was talking about the 12-step program, and he said the higher being of your own. Whatever the higher being is to you, whatever that is, they we have the ability to connect. And sometimes when we don't trust connecting ourselves, our animals will do the connecting for us. So we can ask our animal companion to guide us. I want to talk about the last thing, and that is your state of mind and trying to break this cycle of grief. And I think of two states of mind. And we are either in a state of mind that feels good and natural and right, or we are in a state of mind that feels dark and overwhelming and dense is a word I like to use, dense. And I try to avoid the negative positive thing because that's placing judgment on your feelings. But we are either feeling joyful with purpose and direction and peace and calm, or we're feeling dense. And sometimes that includes grief and sadness and wanting to run away and wanting to never get out of the covers, from under the covers, depression. Little hands are trying to grab the computer. And so I would encourage you to ask your animal companion if you're finding yourself, if you ever find, and it's not perfect. There are some days when I'm still sad. When I tell story, I told stories this weekend. We had a beautiful live event, which some of you were at, by the way. We had a beautiful live event this weekend, and uh, and I was telling the story of Lucy, and even 4 years later, it still made me cry to tell the story of her crossing. So there are times, whether you're deep in it right now or it just comes to you from time to time, you can ask your animal companion to help you shift out of that primal state of fear and that fight, flight, freeze thing, uh, and into one of, if not joy, at least relief. From grief to relief is what I like to say. We can at least have that feeling of relief. And that's the whole purpose of this channel. That's the whole purpose of these live streams. It's the whole purpose of everything. Okay. I'm going to check comments one more time, and then we're going to kind of call an end to this because little Miss May is becoming very impatient with me. and the songs on the TV aren't doing it anymore. Empty, right? Empty is a good word. Empty is a good word, Sharon. And we can ask them to fill us up again. We can ask them to fill us up again. We do not have to live our lives in that primal sense, that feeling of emptiness and loss. Just wants to bite me. Okay, I've missed something here clearly. That's okay. I love that you guys support each other. I love that you have conversations throughout this time because that's what it's meant to be, a place of community, a place of coming together, a place of supporting each other through our loss and supporting each other as we grow, as we evolve, and I love to explore all the psychic stuff, which reminds me, I'm going to close with this. Animal Mystic Masterclass. I love to go down the rabbit hole of all the psychic stuff. I try to keep it on the low end here because I know that we're all over the board when it comes to exploring our spirituality and psychic and metaphysical stuff. I personally have gone down the rabbit hole and I love to explore all of it. Always have ever since I was a little girl. Only now I give myself permission to do it. So I am leading something called the Animal Mystic Masterclass. And if you're a channel member, make sure that you check the community tab because there's a special little invitation for you there. Yes, May, we're going to say goodnight. And uh-oh, I smell something stinky. What a way to wrap things up, right? What a way to wrap things up. So there's a special invitation for you in the community tab for anybody who's a channel member. Otherwise, I'll post all the information for everyone. The Animal Mystic Masterclass, we're going to do 6 weeks starting Wednesday, September 4th. And we're going to talk about all the psychic stuff. And we're going to talk about doggies. Yep. And we're going to talk about telepathy and clairvoyance and mediumship and channeling. And we're going to talk about ESP and all with animals as our teachers and guides. So if anybody's interested in exploring that, you just let me know and we'll get you hooked up. All right, guys. I saw that, but I work Wednesday nights. Okay. So Kim, no worries because May has made her presence known. I switch it up from time to time. I do different things on different nights and different days, and I've already got something booked for Saturdays. Otherwise, I'll do it on the weekend. But there will always be other opportunities, and I would love to have all you guys join. Okay, my friends, I got to run because I got a diaper to change. It was good to see all you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all your comments. And Mel, thank you so much for that recommendation. I think that was one of the first classes we connected in, Mel, was that Animal Mystic Masterclass, and it has evolved even since. And you are welcome, Sophia. Welcome, Sharon. All right, kids, I got to go. Have a great night, and I will see y'all, if not at some point during this week, then next Monday. Take care, everybody. If I don't have a mouse, so let's see if I can end this live stream. May animals light your way.